Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Naruto Shippuuden, episode 367 review, as usual. Now, before I get started, of course, the episode link is going to be in the box below on Crunchyroll.com. And before I also dive right in, do want to say I can hear the fireworks right now. And I did see some early on in the evening. So all I want to say here is that if you do celebrate 4th of July, whether you're with your friends, family, out partying, then enjoy it. If you don't, then do you. That's all I can say, do you. So this episode is actually fairly simple. The animation's okay. And pacing-wise, we did make a lot of leeway into the flashback itself, if you compare it to the manga. And when it comes from a story progression standpoint, the only parts that are relevant when it comes to story progression is the character interaction and the character development. Well, no, character interaction between the younger Madara and the younger Hashirama. Seeing the environment that they were raised in, this chaotic warring states era. Like old school ancient China. Like BCE 500 China. And then knowing that not even kids are safe from this perpetual warfare. In fact, kids are exalted if they fight and die as quote-unquote full-fledged shinobi. Kids. Like 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds. In fact, the flashback starts off, or one of the starting points is Hashirama, Togurama, and Itama seeing their little bro get buried, and he's like 7 years old. Something like that. It's insane. And then it is the culmination of dreams, where Madara and Hashirama, they have this dream, they have this goal, and they want to stop this bloodshed. They want to make a pact. They want to have this unity between clans. And Hashirama even explains when they're sitting on top of what will later become the Hokage faces, talking about building an area right here with schools, with a system in place where children no longer have to fight, where you have adults and superiors. They take care of the functions and the inner workings of this supposed union, like right here. So he's talking about it in full detail. And of course that later becomes Konoha, obviously. So the point here is that Hashirama and Madara, from a very young age, had the idea of Konoha already in their minds. And the main reason why they were doing it was because they wanted to end this warfare, especially between, well, they didn't know at that point in time. Hashirama had an idea, wasn't too sure, but mainly between the Uchiha and the Senju, obviously, because that's like the biggest feud there is. And the main reason was so they could protect their last living siblings, their little bros. So that was the whole thing right there. And overall, I mean, it was heartwarming, it was sad, it was messed up. Like the fact that you have Itama, the little brother of Hashirama and Togurama, he gets packed. He gets packed by like a bunch of Uchiha. He gets killed like a dog on a boulder. It's like, dog. And right now you have Hashirama and Madara. One of the main things that they're doing at this point in time is getting stronger. Because without power, their voices have no weight. I like that. Without power, their voices have no weight. And with power, what they preach about uniting clans, about building this place that later on becomes Konoha, would have more of an impact on the wars that they engage in. And also, very important, because this is something that I forgot about completely until it was actually shown in the episode. There's a clan called the Hagoromo clan. Now, whether or not this has implications later on in the story, we'll see. But that's That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Like, how do we miss that? How do we miss that? There's a clan called the Hagoromo clan. I forgot about that completely. But point here is that overall episode, just seeing these two work together with the training and how it starts off with the rock skipping over the water, how they both obviously gave hints. Hashirama more so than Madara, because Madara was throwing the rock like a shuriken, but Hashirama straight up walked on water. So obviously they knew right then and there that they were shinobi, and because of the environment that they live in, they couldn't give their family names to each other because they would know that they're the enemy, obviously. So, like, that's pretty crazy. And when you have Hashirama actually question and talk back to his father about how children are fighting in this war and they shouldn't be praised and exalted as full-fledged shinobi, and how they're dying just to maintain this feud, and his father twisted it as, well, it's honor. Since the Uchiha are doing it, we're going to do it too. It's honorable. But in Hashirama's eyes, not even the case. Not close to the case. So, it's the furthest thing from honorable. So the thing here is, we see this conflict between father and son. And given the tradition at hand, even though the kids understand, meaning Tobirama and Hashirama and Madara, they understand that what the adults are doing is not beneficial for the clans, for themselves as individuals as a whole, but also it's endless. It doesn't stop. It's been going on for centuries. So the time is now to end it. And these guys are going to be the catalyst to end it. So I'd say I'm done. I mean, there's nothing more to say, really. I don't think so. No, not really, no. So, overall, King Lightning, I will see you guys later. The episode overall, I thought was okay plus. And have an enjoyable night wherever you are, because I will. So, peace. Have a nice one.